This is the ultimate deep dive into the world of Minecraft, a game that has evolved from a simple indie project into a cornerstone of American digital culture. For many in the US, Minecraft isn't just a game. It's a virtual legal lawn, a social club, and a secondary home, whether you're a new player or a veteran who hasn't touched the game since 2015. This article will walk you through the epic stages of the game and provide the high-level tips used by the top American pros today. The Minecraft Odyssey. From dirt hut to digital godhood, Minecraft is a sandbox game, meaning there are no set rules. However, the community has developed a standard progression that defines the experience. Let's break down the stages of your journey. Stage 1. The first night, the survival instinct. The first 10 minutes of a new Minecraft world are the most iconic. You wake up on a beach or in a forest with nothing but your bare hands. In the US gaming community, this is known as the punching wood phase. The mission: gather wood, craft a workbench, and build a wooden pickaxe. The American tip: don't waste time building a fancy house, yet dig into the side of a hill. A Hobbit Hole is the most efficient way to survive the first night without being blown up by a creeper. Stage 2, the Iron Age and industrialization. Once you have stone tools, you head underground. This is where the game's loop begins. You are looking for iron, the backbone of your mid-game gear. The goal: wool, iron, armor, and tools. Pro tip: look for stony peaks or deep, dark biomes in 2026. The way ore generates has changed. Iron is most common high up in mountains, while diamonds are buried deep near the bedrock layer -59. Stage 3, the Nether expansion. High stakes poke. Once you have a diamond pickaxe and some obsidian, you enter the Nether Minecraft's version of hell. This is where the game gets aggressive. The risk: lava is everywhere, and one wrong step loses all your gear. The tip for Americans: use gold boots. Piglins, the inhabitants of the Nether, won't attack you if you're wearing gold. It's a small price to pay for safety. Stage Impact, the end, and the dragon. The final boss lives in a dimension called the End. Defeating the Ender Dragon is the graduation ceremony of the reward: the Elytra wings. This changes the game entirely. You no longer walk. You fly through your world like a superhero. Lima Pro Label tips and tricks for the American player. American players often focus on efficiency and aesthetics. Here are the tips that will make you look like a pro on any server. Kasato, Tuata, Bucket, Safety ML. This is the ultimate skill check. If you fall from a high place, look down and right with a water bucket a split second before you hit the ground. The water resets your fall distance and you take 0 damage. Mastering: this is the difference between a casual and a pro. Kedua, the villager trading economy. Don't spend hours mining for diamonds. Instead, build a villager trading hall. The trig: turn a villager into a librarian. With enough trading, they will sell you mending books, which allow your gear to repair itself automatically using XP. This is how pros keep their gear forever. Ketiga, redstone automation. The American dream: why farm manually when you can build a machine? Redstone is the electricity of mine. The heck? Build an automatic iron farm by using a zombie to scare villagers into spawning. Iron golems. You can get infinite iron while you sleep. Efficiency is the name of the game. Combat spawn chunk. Knowledge. In every Minecraft world, the area where you first spawned is always loaded by the computer. D-tip: build your most important farms like iron or crops at the world spawn. They will keep working even if you are thousands of blocks away exploring. Kalima, the fortune 3. Heck, never mind a diamond or until you have a pickaxe with the fortune 3 enchantment. It can turn 1 diamond or into 4 diamonds. Patience in the beginning leads to wealth in the end. Why Minecraft stays relevant. The Socio Square. For my American audience, Minecraft has become more than a game. It's a creative suite. Building for mental health. Many professionals use creative mode as a form of meditation, building massive cities or one-to-one replicas of their real-life hometowns. Educational tool: from coding to history. Minecraft is used in schools across the US to teach spatial reasoning and logic. The touchy side: the world you never leave. There is a feeling every Minecraft player knows. Looking at an old world save from 5 years ago. You see the house you built with a friend who you don't talk to anymore. Or the dog sitting by the door waiting for a player who hasn't logged in since 2021. Minecraft is a digital time cap. Every block you place is a memory. That is why it's user touchy. It grows with you. You might leave Minecraft for a year, but you always come home to it. Summary table: the Minecraft progression in 2026. The way we categorize a player's journey in Minecraft has moved beyond simple tasks and into a sophisticated hierarchy of ages. Since you want this in a deep, written narrative rather than a table, let's explore the psychological and technical progression of a world from the first punch to total digital supremacy. The primitive era. The age of survival. This is the stage 1 of every American Minecraft journey. It is defined by vulnerability. Your primary tool is the stone axe, and your primary enemy isn't a monster, it's the clock. You have roughly 10 minutes of daylight to secure a bet. In this stage, your goal isn't beauty, it's security. Success here is defined by having a lit room and a consistent food source, usually berries or bread. For many players, this stage is the most nostalgic because every small win, like find your first piece of coffee, like a massive relief. The industrial era, the age of iron and diamonds. Once you have a permanent base, you enter the mid-game. This is where the game shifts from survival to extraction. Your main tool becomes the iron sword, and you spend most of your time in the deep layers of the world. The primary dangers here are cave spiders and the sudden, heart-stopping hiss of a creeper behind you in a dark tunnel. Your goal is to find obsidian and diamonds. In the American professional mindset, this is the grind phase. You are building the capital resources necessary to fund your future mega projects. The mythic era, the age of the Nether, and the end. This is late game territory. You are no longer just a resident of the overworld. You are a dimension trap. Your tools are now diamond or often enchanted with unbreaking or sharpness. The dangers here are legendary: the Wither, the Ender Dragon, and the infinite void of the end. The goal is automation. At this stage, a pro player isn't mining for iron anymore. They are building complex redstone machines to do the work for them. This represents the shift from manual labor to management. The transcendent era, the age of the end game begins the moment you equip the Elytra wings. This is the ultimate status symbol. Your primary danger is no longer a monster. It is gravity. One accidental flight into a wall or a landing without a firework rocket can end hardcore run instantly. At this point, the game is no longer about winning because you have already won. It is about legacy. You spend your time on mega projects building one-to-one skill cities, massive redstone computers, or terraforming entire biomes. You have effectively become the architect of your own universe. Pro tips for the 2026 American player. To truly master these stages, you need to use the shortcuts that the top technical players use. The Nether roof travel. Most players don't realize you can actually get on top of the Nether by using a ladder and an ender pearl at the very top layer of bedrock. 127. You can break through to a flat, infinite void. This is the interstate highway of mind, because one block in the Nether equals 8 blocks in the over. Traveling on the roof allows you to cross thousands of miles in minutes without any obstacle. Conclusion: your world, your rules. Minecraft is the ultimate reflection of the American spirit. Start with nothing. Use your ingenuity to master the environment and build a legacy. Whether you want to defeat the dragon or just build a beautiful garden, the game is a canvas for your personality. To master Redstone in 2026 is to move from being a player to being an engineer. In Minecraft, Redstone is the equivalent of electrical wiring, allowing you to build everything from simple hidden doors to massive, fully automated factories. For the American player who values efficiency, Redstone is your greatest tool. Here is the detailed breakdown of Redstone logic and a guide to your first essential automated machine. The 3 pillars of Redstone logic. Before you build, you must understand the language of the wires. Redstone operates on 3 basic components: the repeater, the signal booster. Redstone power only travels 15 blocks before it dies out. A repeater acts as a relay station, taking a weak signal and boosting it back to full strength. It also allows you to add delay, measured in ticks, which is essential for timing your machines so they don't jam. The observer, the motion sensor. This is a game changer for 2026. The observer has a face that looks at the block in front of it. If that block changes, a crop grows. A door opens, a block is placed, the observer sends a quick pulse out the back. This is the heart of most AFK, away from keyboard farms. The comparator, the brain. This is the most complex tool. It can read how full a chest or hopper is and turn that into a power level. If a chest is empty, the signal is 0. If it's full, the signal is 15. This allows you to build machines that automatically turn off when they are full. Your first project, the Iron Tycoon Automatic Iron Farm. Iron is the most used resource in manually mining. It is a waste of your time. This farm uses the villager panic mechanic to spawn iron golems and harvest their iron automatically. The blueprint, the foundation, build a platform roughly 20 blocks in the air. This ensures that iron golems only spawn inside your trap and not on the ground nearby. The villager pod. Create a small room with 3 beds. You need exactly 3 villagers here. They are your workers. The scare factor. Place a zombie in a boat or a compost bin near the villagers. You must position the zombie so that the villagers can see him, but he cannot reach them. The redstone trigger. Use a stick piston and an observer on a timer, a redstone clock. This should occasionally block the villager's line of sight to the zombie. Why? Because villagers need to sleep for at least 1 second every day to reset their spawning timer. If they are constantly panicked, the farm will stop working. The collection point. Build a water stream that pushes the spawn golems into a pit of lava, held up by signs: lava at head height, water at foot height. The golem burns, and its iron ingots drop into a hopper and then into your chest. Pro tip: into 1.21 update and beyond, ensure your villagers are in a loaded chunk near your world spawn. This keeps the farm running 24/7, even when you aren't there. Why this transforms your game. In the American professional world, we talk about passive income. An iron farm is passive resource income. By spending 30 minutes building this redstone machine, you free up the next 100 hours of your game. You no longer need to look for air. You just walk to your chest and take what you need. This allows you to focus on the higher order parts of Minecraft architecture, exploration, and community building.